And what is up, everybody? It's Wednesday night, and we are getting ready for the CIF SoCal Regional playoff games as we have two local football teams still in the hunt for state championships. My name is Pep Fernandez, live and amplified from Teen Vision TV 16. We appreciate you tuning in. Our director, Johnny Nunez, behind the scenes, making it all happen. And listen, this is a very big week for high school football. There's only a handful of teams still in the hunt for a state title. A little bit later in the show, we will have several players of the Arlington Lions joining us as they will take on El Camino Real in Division 6A. But first things first, we're going to have the Aquinas Falcons on as they will take on the Newport Harbor Sailors in 3AA, and this is our Kin Sporting Goods must-see game this week. It's going down in the Dino, San Bernardino, Friday night, 6 o'clock. Be there as the Falcons will take on the Sailors. The winner will move on to the state championship game. And we know this, that the Northern California winner will host. So one of these teams, hopefully Aquinas, will move on and play in Northern California for a state title against the winner of Vanden and Windsor. In fact, I had to look up where those high schools were. That's going to be a long road trip for the Falcons next week for that state championship game. So that's our Kin Sporting Goods must-see game coming up this Friday again in Division 3AA. Joining us live as we go deep into the Dino from Aquinas High School, some of the star Falcons players this season, and right there center stage, the quarterback for the Falcons this season, Dre Robles. And Dre, man, what a season it has been. And, you know, I want to look at the season as a whole, Dre, because you played some really good teams in non-league action early on in the season. And a lot of close losses as well. How do you think playing those really high-caliber teams early on in the season helped you prepare for this playoff run? Because you guys are playing really good football, probably the best football you've played all season long right now.
Yes, sir. So, you know, like you said, we put some really good competitive teams at the beginning of our schedule, and we just saw something early in the season that was special, that we knew we believed we could go far, and we played those games to help us prepare towards this end of the season. And, you know, clearly they really helped us. We've been playing really good football. I think our best football this whole season towards the end, especially when it's known that the teams get tougher. But, yeah, I think we've prepared really well to get to where we are today.
Well, let me go to the guy to your right on the screen. It'll be to your left, Big Junior Tassi Baumui. Junior, man, you're my guy. Listen, whenever I see you, I always think about that moment when the basketball team was winning those championships and you were taking your shirt off and you were running around and celebrating. How did you celebrate a CIF title for the football team this past Friday? What did you do right after you guys won?
You know, we just got together, said a little prayer, and no shirts were off because, you know, the basketball game, COVID tickets were limited, so there was not that many people there. So now we just got on the bus, and our mentality was next game, next opponent. So, yeah.
You know, Junior, that was my next question, because I'm sure in the moment you guys beat St. Pius, you win another CIF Southern Section title, and it feels great. But like you said, in the back of your mind, you're probably thinking, okay, let's enjoy this for the moment, but we still have some unfinished business. I'm sure you remember 2019, getting to that state championship game and coming just a little bit short. I mean, it sounds like you guys still are on a mission to take it all the way.
Yeah, you know, 2019 we fell short, but you know, this team, you know, a lot of players just their first time getting a taste of championship. And, you know, I'm happy for my brothers who, you know, finally won a ring, and those who came and helped this program. You know, it's more keeping this tradition alive, and what can we do? So, you know, more weeks of practice, the better.
So that is 5 overall titles for the school, and the third under head coach Jordan Brusig. Guys, let's swing the camera over to your left and talk to JoJo Solis here. There's no way this guy could be a freshman, man. JoJo, I see the numbers you're putting up every single week. I'm like, this is ridiculous. 200, 300 yards, 5 touchdowns, 6 touchdowns. You had 6 touchdowns in that championship game against St. Pius. what do you credit your seamless transition to varsity football? Like, what's the key to your success this season?
My key is my lineman and Coach Bruiser. He always puts me through like hardest obstacles, and I always find a way to get through it. And my linemen, they always help me so much. And my fullback Marco, I follow him through the holes, gets me to where I need to be.
Yeah, JoJo, if you've got Marco in front of you, and I would just find wherever Junior's at, because nobody's moving that guy, I would just follow those guys, and you're going to have some space. You're going to have some room to roam, I would assume. But, JoJo, as a freshman, obviously you're such an important part to this offense this season. What was going well for you guys in that championship game against St. Pius? Because you guys racked up more than 500 total yards, throwing and running the football. You had 6 touchdowns. What were you guys doing well in that championship game against St. Pius that you're hoping to continue this Friday against Newport Harbor?
Our stamina and our energy, that helped us the most throughout the whole week at practice. We were always in the weight room and always on the field. So that helped us a lot. And we're going to continue working on our stamina and our energy to make it to the state. Dude,
this is a long season, man. This is a long season for the Aquinas Falcons. And let me go back to Dre there in the middle. Dre, what's kind of funny is, I go back to you probably remember this, the Temecula Valley passing tournament. And I know it's not real football, but back in July, I went out there. I wanted to check you guys out. My first look at, the fab freshman JoJo over there, of course. And I remember Coach Brucig, talking to you guys saying, hey, we got to get this dialed in and get focused now. Like, I don't think he was very happy with maybe, how you guys were playing out there, or maybe the focus or the preparation. I'm not sure what it was, but he kind of addressed you guys and said, hey, the season is right around the corner. This was like in the middle of July. He's like, the season's right around the corner. Let's get this right now. Let's nip this in the bud. Let's get better right now. Do you remember that? And how did that kind of maybe change the trajectory of this team?
Yeah, so with Coach Brusick, he only does that on 7 to get us ready for football. He doesn't. I mean, it's nice winning championships in 7-on-7 and stuff like that, but ultimately it's just for us to get better for season. And I feel like that day we were just not as disciplined as we should be. We weren't representing Aquinas football as best as we can, and he wanted to put us in check. But going into the season, I feel like that's what's helped us get towards the end where we are today. Is the brotherhood. Like, we weren't as close as a team at that time. We had camp week, and then we've been together for a long period of time now. This brotherhood has become really tight, and there's nothing that could break it. But like I said, it all started with off season.
Yeah, man.
And that day.
Yeah, I remember that tournament. And it's not like you guys were playing bad, but I just remember Coach Brucig, even though it was a 7-on-7 tournament, man, he was fired up, and he was trying to get you guys dialed in and get you focused right then and there. I think because he saw the writing on the wall that you guys, at least on paper, had a really special team. If you guys could go out there and execute and do all those things, you would have a great season, which you did. Let me go back to Junior over there. Junior, you were part of that 2019 team. You remember going to that state championship game and what it took. And, you guys lost in the state title game 10-7 against Clayton Valley, the Ugly Eagles. Ugly Eagles. That's actually their name, the Ugly Eagles. But, Junior, when you look back at that season and you look at this season, are they similar at all? Are they different? How would you compare maybe 2019 and 2021?
Yeah, that's a good question, Pep. This year's team, we're not as talented, but we just had our head down and, just had faith in each other. Whoever had the same jersey as us, that's who we're going to play. And whoever didn't have the same color jersey as us, we're just going to hit them till they fold. And that's been our mindset ever since week 0. And we just gradually got better at, we built the chemistry throughout the season. And, yeah.
Junior, do you think the Aquinas Falcons are playing their best football of the season right now going into this game against Newport Harbor?
Yeah, I believe so. But if we think about playing our best, we need to practice our best, and we need to lift like our best, and be disciplined as best as we can so we could perform our best on Friday.
All right, guys, let me go back to JoJo real quick before we wrap up this interview. And again, I appreciate you guys doing this. I know you're hard at work getting ready for that SoCal Regional coming up on Friday. JoJo, you know, Aquinas High School has had a lot of special running backs come through the program. I think of recently, you know, Brandon Rankins, who the all-time leading rusher in San Bernardino County history. But obviously, you're off to a great start. You're putting up big numbers. You guys won a CIF Southern Section title, you know, this season. But what's it been like as a freshman being part of this championship team? Because you got Dre, who, you know, he's a seasoned veteran. You got Junior, who, you know, he's won titles here with Aquinas High School as well. But being a freshman and being able to contribute right away, what's that been like for you this season?
It's been amazing to me, and all my older brothers, they taught me how to be humble and just win humbly. So that's what helped me. Because when I came in cocky, dancing, but they taught me that it's not about all of that. You gotta just win and keep quiet.
The Aquinas way, right? You run it into the end zone, you score the touchdown, you flip the ball to the ref, and that's it, right? Game over.
Sure.
Guys, listen, I appreciate it so much. I'm going to see you guys on Friday night. That is a 6 o'clock kick at Aquinas High School. The Falcons taking on Newport Harbor, the Sailors, for the Division III AA SoCal Regional Championship. Again, the winner will move on to the state title game, which will be in Northern California. So I hope you guys are making a long trip next week to play for that state championship. Junior, Dre, JoJo, thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. Best of luck on Friday, and I'll see you guys out there at the game.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Pat. Thank you, Pat. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
You guys too, as well. Thank you guys so much. That's the Aquinas Falcons joining us live here on the Inland Sports Show. We'll take our first commercial break of the evening. A little bit later in the show, we have the Arlington Lions joining us live, and also the head men's basketball coach for Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. He's also a JW North graduate, the great John Smith. They're in Riverside to take on CBU tomorrow night. We'll have that next when we come back here on the Inland Sports Show.
What's going on, guys? This is Ray Bass from Boost Performance Training. You're watching the Inland Sports Show with the one and only Pep Fernandez.
The time is now. The Boost Training Center is open for business and ready to help all the athletes across the Inland Empire. Doesn't matter the age or the sport, if you go to Boost Training with Coach Ray Bass, they're going to make you bigger, faster, stronger. So if you're out there looking to train this offseason, talking about all you football players especially, check out boosttrainingsystems.com. That is the website. You can find a strength and speed class just for you this offseason so you can be even bigger, better, faster, stronger this upcoming season. Give them a call or text at 951-532-4904 to reserve your spot today. Strength and speed training at Boost Training System. And don't forget, enrollment is open right now for the Bass School. That's Boost Alternative School for student athletes. You can check out what they have to offer at boosttrainingsystems.com. That is the website once again, and you can enroll for the 2021-2022 school year. Again, this is not an online school. This is a private school specifically for 7th and 8th grade boys. Check it out today because space is limited.
And welcome back to the Inland Sports Show, everybody. A big thanks to the Aquinas Falcons football team. Another big game going down this Friday against the Newport Harbor Sailors. The Falcons trying to punch their ticket to the state championship game. But first things first, you got to beat the Sailors on Friday night in the SoCal Regional and then advance. And I was thinking about the Falcons, you know, all these CIF titles they've been winning. They won on the road at Burroughs up in Ridgecrest, and they won at St. Paul, then they won at St. Pius. They haven't won a lot of big games on their home field recently, at least under head coach Jordan Brusick, so this would be a real feather in their cap if they can get it done on Friday night and win a Southern California championship on their home field. We'll talk to the Arlington Lions a little bit later in the show, but right now, let's hoop it up. Big game at California Baptist University tomorrow night. The Lancers back home, and they will be taking on Cal Poly San Luis Obispo and our old pal John Smith, the head coach of the Mustangs, the pride of JW North High School. Coach Smith, do you always enjoy coming back down to your home, your neck of the woods, back down to Riverside?
Yes, it's always a great feeling to get back home and see some folks. I think I got 47 tickets for people coming to the game. So it should be a fun night.
And you guys are coming off a win, too, so that's got to be a good feeling, right? You got a nice win against Idaho going into this game against the Lancers. What did you guys do well against the Vandals that kind of builds up the confidence maybe a little bit going into this contest?
Well, we just found a way to win. You know, we've lost some tough games, close games, but we were without our leading scorer, Jacob Davison, and Ali Karoma, our top two leading scorers for that game. Ali was in foul trouble and Jacob was sick, and we found a way to win without those guys. So that was good for this young team to figure out that, you know, they are good enough, whether they're young or not, that capable.
Well, Coach Smith, you know, you touched on it, and that's why I wanted to ask you about all of these close games. You're 2-4 overall on the season, but, you know, 3 of those games you lost by a combined 7 points. You've played some really close games in non-conference play early on. What do you think it's going to take to, you know, get over that hump and start, you know, winning those close games?
It's just confidence and belief that we're able to do it, and then the other part is making free throws. We haven't shot the ball from the free throw line the way that we're capable of. And if we did, we'd probably come out on the other side in those 3 games. And we're talking we're having a different conversation then.
Well, Coach, you're in your 3rd season with the Mustangs, and obviously you're trending in the right direction. You got a Big West, tournament victory last season. You guys are off to, even though the record says 2-4, a strong start. You're competitive. A lot of those games, like you said, are winnable games. What do you think's kind of been the key to this turnaround for Cal Poly?
We finally just have infused the program with guys that fit the way that we're trying to play. We inherited a program that was totally different in terms of the makeup of the team and how we want to play. So now we have more guys that fit our style, and now it's just trying to continue to build it that way and give them confidence and show them how to win in certain games, down the stretch and continue to go from there.
Well, Coach, just looking at the numbers, the stats this season for your team, I would describe it maybe as blue collar. You're going to hold opponents to close to 60 points in a game. You led the Big West in steals last season. But how would you describe the way that you guys play?
Hard hat and lunch pail. When you get on the floor, in order to get on the floor to play for us, you got to be able to defend. And that's what we're going to hang our hat on, is on the defensive side. And our guys have really done a great job of buying into that. Now it's just getting them confidence on the offensive side, and especially at the free throw line. Once we put those things together, then it's going to be a really scary team.
Well, Coach Smith, you guys are towards the middle of a 9-game road trip. CBU tomorrow night. I think that's game, number 4, on this road trip. It's 9 games in all. You'll finish up with number 5, UCLA, in about a week and a half or so. What are you finding out about this team on this road trip? Is this a good time to maybe build some of that team chemistry? You guys are on the road together, eating together, traveling together. What are you learning about this year's team?
And that's what this road trip is about. It's about team camaraderie. When we were on the road last week, we spent one of the nights not even watching film on our game or any game. We just watched a movie. we watch one of my favorite movies, Remember the Titans, and just help these guys develop some more camaraderie and figure out how to win in the trenches on the road, because the most important season is league. And so you're just trying to learn as much as you can in the preseason, get stronger, and hopefully by the time league comes, all these kinks are out.
Well, Coach, obviously you have deep ties to the area. You're a JW North guy. You coached at RCC. You won a state title for RCC. You coached at San Bernardino Valley College. How has each of those coaching steps, kind of formed the coach that you are today? Did you pick up things or maybe do things differently along each step in your coaching career to kind of, bring us to this point with the kind of coach you are today for Cal Poly?
Well, yeah, yes and no. You're trying to adjust with the times and adjust with the players that at their stage of their careers and how kids are nowadays. But the building of a program has been the same. It's been the same for me always, which is me trying to develop a deep relationship with these guys and make sure that they understand how much I care about them. And hopefully they'll run through a wall for me. And it's starting to happen at this place just like it did in the other two places.
Well, Coach Smith, listen, I know you guys are at practice right now. I promised I wouldn't keep you too long because I want you to be able to get back to work and prepare for the Lancers tomorrow night. But I always appreciate the time. Your entire family's always made time for us here on the Inland Sports Show, and I always appreciate it. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Pep. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. That is John Smith, the head basketball coach for Cal Poly. The Mustangs taking on CBU on Thursday night. That is a 7 o'clock tip right there at the CBU Event Center. I hope you'll join me on ESPN Plus for the game. It should be a good one. And again, CBU likes to score. Cal Poly likes to play defense. It should be a good game of contrasting styles come tomorrow night. All right. When we come back here on the Inland Sports Show, it's right back to high school football. The Arlington Lions will join us live on the show when we come back here on the Inland Sports Show.
96.7 KCal Rocks. What's up? It's Patrick and 40. Hey, man, you're watching the Inland Sports Show right here. Make sure you check out Pep, man. It's Inland Sports with Pep, but he's on every Monday and Thursday morning with Sports with Pep, man. You guys rock.
Calling all athletes. Make sure you're at your very best by training at Boost Performance Training in Corona. Whether you're a football player, soccer player, baseball player, lacrosse, athletes from all sports and all levels train at Boost Performance Training. Led by former Centennial High School football star Ray Bass, you'll develop explosive power, become faster, and add that lean muscle. Don't be left behind and get a leg up on the competition at Boost Performance Training. Visit boosttrainingsystems.com for information on their training programs and also on the Bass School. That's the Bass Alternative School for student athletes. Trying to earn a scholarship? Maybe make the varsity team. Get a spot in the starting lineup? Well, let Boost Performance Training help achieve your athletic goals.
I would say the one thing that we stress more than anything else is service to our customer. Make sure that they're taking care of whatever you can do to make sure that that order gets to them on time and it's the right quality and what they want. I've been that way since 1976. That was my goal, to reach out to local sports programs, and it's grown from there, and we've been very, very fortunate. My grandson is right over here. He's working for us, and he's going to college right now, and that's exactly what my son did 20-some years ago, and it keeps on going, you know. Customers that come in the store that it's amazing. People that I haven't been here since I was a little kid, and I used to come in here all the time, and then now I'm bringing my son in here, or a grandpa that's bringing his grandson in here that came in here when we first opened back in '76. We just feel so fortunate to have been a part of this community and this Inland Empire for going into our 44th year now, and it's just been a blessing.
And welcome back to the Inland Sports Show, everybody. A big thanks to the Aquinas Falcons who joined us earlier in the show. And then we also had John Smith, the head men's basketball coach for Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. The Mustangs with a huge game against CBU tomorrow night on ESPN+. But as I promised, we're going right back to high school football because nobody covers high school football like we do. Joining us live on the show, it's the Arlington Lions. We're going all over the place. They had an early practice. They're home. They're probably cranking on that homework right now, making sure those grades are good. We got Ray Warhop. See, it's probably going to be opposite from what you guys are seeing at home. But from my vantage point, we got Ray up in the corner right there. We got Jordan Clark over there. Yep. Yeah, that side. Got it. And Buddha McDaniel down there in the bottom. Guys, first off, congratulations on winning a CIF Southern Section Championship, beating Montclair 23-0 at Ramona Stadium this past weekend. Ray, let me start with you. What has this playoff run been like, man? You guys started 0-7, and now you guys can't lose. You just keep winning.
It's hard to explain. I mean, lost the first 7 games, but we didn't let that really get to us. You know what I mean? We just kept working hard and just stayed consistent the last couple games, and then this is where we're at now.
Well, let me go to Jordan now, who's next to the box next to you. And Jordan, going back to that Southern Section Championship game when you guys beat Montclair, you had an unbelievable game. Not only just an unbelievable game, you had like an unbelievable second quarter. I think it was probably the best second quarter I think I've seen anybody play. You stripped the ball away. You had 2 interceptions. I asked you after the game, but it's probably worth asking you again. Was that the best high school football game you've ever played?
Yeah, definitely the best game I ever played. Not only because of the plays, but because of the significance of the game itself.
Yeah, you picked the perfect time to play your best game ever to help clinch that championship. Then we got Buddha McDaniel. You know, Coach Argamosa, Buddha he was raving about you. He's like, man, this guy is on both sides of the football. He's just like our anchor. Like he gets it done on, on offense and defense up front on the line for us. And Buddha, when we look at this Arlington team, not only did it, start slow this season, but when you go back, all the way to 2018, I mean, this senior class only had 3 wins in the previous 3, or only 1 win in the previous 3 seasons. What do you think it took to kind of build, that winning culture? I know it sounds kind of like a cliche, but, what kind of clicked for you guys on the second half of this season? It's like, hey, we got a good team and we can win. What clicked for this squad?
Let's just say we got tired of losing. We got tired of being the team that was down on the scoreboard, tired of having everybody celebrating after the game besides us, and we decided to step it up.
And you guys stepped it up in a huge way right now. Again, winning a Division 13 title. Now you're going to the Division 6A Southern California Regional game. So if you win that one, you go to the state championship game. Guys, you're going to play, again, back home Saturday night against El Camino Real. In fact, I had to look these guys up. I wasn't even sure where these guys were from, but they're from Woodland Hills, the LA City section. Guys, at this point of the season, obviously you're probably going to find out who you're playing and maybe some of their strengths and whatnot. But at this point, is it more about what you guys do on the field? Like you have to take care of your own business to maybe get that victory? And Ray, I'll go back to you first, and you guys can all answer this one. But, is it more about what the Lions do on Saturday night in terms of getting that victory in the SoCal Regional?
Yeah, that's what I think, off of what we do. You know what I mean? We have to have a good week of practice. You know what I mean? It's really just play our football. That's really it.
And Jordan, same thing. I mean, you guys had so much success in that Southern Section Championship game against Montclair. What are some things that you guys did well as a team that you think can carry over, that you guys can do again this Saturday night against El Camino Real?
We had really good communication. You know, the defense, I think that game was the most we ever talked. It worked a lot. You know, the things were clicking. We're picking up our men. And if we have, you know, we just have to slow down on mistakes. The fewer mistakes, the better. And if we can make, you know, the less mistakes, we should come out victorious.
Jordan, we're looking at some video from that game, and, you know, there's that championship belt, you know, like WWF style, WWE, whatever they call it now. I'm too old for you guys. But, you know, you only get the belt if you make a big play on defense, right? Talk about, you know, what it takes to earn that belt on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, whoever gets a takeover, really. If you get a takeaway, or, yeah, like you said, a big play on defense, then you hold the belt, show it to the fans. Yeah.
Man, hold the belt. You should be wearing it at school all week, man. You deserve that thing. That should be your belt after that game against Montclair. There it is. There's Jordan with that championship belt. Buddha, let me go back to you, man. I was looking up El Camino Real, and it sounds like they got a pretty good quarterback. They got a receiver with 1,000 yards. What do you think, at least from the defensive side of the football, what you guys have to do up front to maybe disrupt this El Camino Real offense?
I think like we did last week, the defensive line could get pressure on the quarterback and force him to make some uncomfortable throws. It put our DBs in a good position. And as long as our linebackers and our safeties talk and communicate, I don't think they should be able to score on us at all.
Well, Buddha, you know, speaking of, you know, we're talking defense here and stopping El Camino Real, but you also play offense and leading the way for your guy Ray over here to put up some big numbers in that rushing attack. What do you think the offense needs to do on Saturday night to put some, put some in the end zone?
The offense, we just got to play 4 quarters of football. No tiny mistakes. Know your alignment, your assignment, your technique. And just get after it the whole game.
All right, let me go back up to Ray. And Ray, you know, when you look at the schedule for the Lions this season, you can go back to that big win against Hillcrest, 10-0. That was a shutout win. The defense was great. Am I being over dramatic when I say that was a real turning point for this in the season for you guys, was that Hillcrest win, and it really just kind of propelled you guys forward and kind of, you know, started getting to that winning way?
I mean, yeah, after that game, that's when we figured out, like, oh, we could do this, you know what I mean? We finally figured out what was working for us, and then we just kept doing that, and then, yeah, they just couldn't stop it.
And guys, you know, what's crazy is we had Coach Argamosa on the show last week, and, you know, it was like a 3-way tie for 3rd place in the River Valley League, and it came down to coin tosses, and, it was just crazy. And you guys won the coin toss, so you got to go to the playoffs. So when the regular season wrapped up, you guys didn't even know for sure if you were going to go to the playoffs, right?
No, we didn't.
And here we are, the month of December, and there's only a handful of teams in the whole state of California that are still playing football at this point. You know, Buddha, I'll go to you. You know, what's it like? Here, you know, you're putting Christmas lights on the house. You're, you know, getting ready for the Christmas tree, but you're also practicing football. You guys are trying to win a SoCal title and get to a state championship game. What does that feel like?
It's crazy because this is the most we've ever played football in 1 year. So it's just like, we just keep getting after it. It's business as usual because nothing's changing. We just had a bigger stage and a bigger moment in our careers in the season.
You know, Ray, let me go to you on this one. And Jordan, I'll probably ask you the same question as well. That, you know, I was out at the game and it was packed, man. That place, it felt like a championship game. It was loud. The fans were crazy. You know, do you guys feed off that environment when it feels like the whole city of Riverside came out to cheer you guys on?
Yeah, it was crazy. It was packed. And then you could just feel the energy from the stands. Like, it was crazy. But we still knew, though, you know what I mean? We still had to play 4 quarters of football and get the job done.
Yeah, and you know, and I know Jordan loves the fans because he's out there showing the championship belt like every other play because he's coming up with all those interceptions and turnovers. But Jordan, seriously, you know, when the brackets came out on Sunday, and I saw you guys were back home again at Ramona Stadium in the SoCal Regional, I thought, man, This is great news for Arlington, man. They had a huge turnout with the fans. I think they fed off that energy. Were you excited to see that you guys would be back home again this Saturday?
Yeah, especially now since we're like one of the only Riverside teams playing. Kind of feels like you're doing it for the city, doing it for your hometown. So all that, all the fans and all like you said, all the energy really feeds into our play, I think, and helps us a lot.
Yeah, at least in our inland sports coverage area for this show, like we only got 2 teams. It's you guys and Aquinas. That's it. That list is very, very short. This deep into the season, there's only a couple teams still in the hunt for a state championship. Guys, listen, I appreciate it so much. I hope you had a good practice today. I hope you have a great walkthrough or whatever you're doing Thursday and Friday to get ready for that Saturday night game. And again, that's Saturday night, 6 o'clock. We will have the game live on Riverside TV. The Arlington Lions taking on El Camino Real for the SoCal Regional. So if you can't make it out there, we'd love to have you there. But if you can't, make sure you can watch it on Riverside TV as well. Buddha, Jordan, Ray, thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. See you Saturday night, and good luck.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
You guys got it. It's the Arlington Lions here live on the Inland Sports Show, getting ready to play for a Southern California Regional Championship this coming Saturday, Division 6A. Before we round out this segment, I see the guys are still on Zoom. They might want to see this. Here is our big boost play of the week. It had to be this one. Let's give it to Jordan Clark. Okay, so the big boost play of the week was this play where Jordan just rips the ball out, or maybe it just fell in his gloves. I'm not sure what happened, but he got the football and he takes it back the other way. And then right after that, he had an interception and another interception. So we kind of had like 3 big boost plays of the week. And there's that championship belt that Jordan was proudly showing off. Again, he should be wearing that to school all week, man. He earned it. Let him have the belt for an entire week. But that is our big boost play of the week. And here's one of those interceptions by Jordan as well. Again, he had 2 of them in the second quarter to help Arlington beat Montclair 23-0, the final score. All right, we're going to take a quick break here on the Inland Sports Show. When we come back, we're going to wrap up the show as we take one more look at the Southern California Regional games this week for our local teams. We'll be back with more Inland Sports Show.
We are the IE. We work hard. In fact, that's the way we like it. We wake up early, we stay up late to get the job done right. That blue-collar, hard-working mentality is the same reason we have so many successful teams and coaches and athletes in the Inland Empire. We never give up. We are a resilient bunch in the IE. Everything we have, we've earned. No excuses. It's this determined attitude is what powers our small businesses, and that's how championships are won. The Inland Sports Team is looking to team up with other like-minded small businesses in the IE. Together, we can grow. We can be bigger and better. If it was easy, everyone would do it. But we're not looking for easy, just looking for an opportunity. Joining the Inland Sports Team could be the opportunity that you've been looking for. The #1 sporting goods store in the Inland Empire is Ken's Sporting Goods in Norco. Whether you need new uniforms for the entire team, a Letterman's jacket, or new cleats for the upcoming season, check out Ken's Sporting Goods. Plus, now you can order masks with your favorite team, school, business, and more. Order for your entire team or organization. Visit kensportinggoods.com for more information and for the latest on the big sales. Make sure to follow Ken's Sporting Goods on Instagram and Twitter. So if you need team uniforms or sports gear, there's only one place to go in the Inland Empire. That's Ken's Sporting Goods.
That's what's so weird about this season. In fact, somebody asked me yesterday, who's your Super Bowl picks? And I'm like, dude, I have no idea right now. Like, could Tom Brady face the Patriots in the Super Bowl, Bucks versus New England? I don't know. Maybe. I guess there's probably a good chance of that. Like, I have no idea who's going to come. I knew the AFC was a mess. I already knew that. The AFC is a mess. There's so many teams that are about equal. But in the NFC, I thought there was like 3 or 4 teams that were going to separate from everybody else. But again, if the Rams are, let's say, the 5 or the 6 seed in the NFC, who wants to play the Rams in the playoffs? They have all that talent. Like, that's going to be a tough out. I have no idea at this point. Yeah, if you were going to have a short list, like, you know, like your wish list, like, you know, Christmas is around the corner and you're like, hey, mom and dad, here's my list of the things I want. Like, if you're at USC and you have a short list of the guys you want to be the head coach, Lincoln Riley was on that list, but it was kind of like a pipe dream. Like, okay, he's not going to leave Oklahoma, right? The Sooners, one of the top programs in the country. Now, I know they lost a big game against Oklahoma State over the weekend, but still, it's Oklahoma. But no, they got him. So obviously, Lincoln Riley thinks he can recruit. He can get the right kids in there because there's so much talent in the Inland Empire. There's so much talent in Southern California. If you can get those kids to stay home, right, and play for USC, that would be a powerhouse school again. Easy. Breaking it down on KCAL 96.7 FM every Monday and Thursday morning. So if you're watching the Inland Sports Show live right now, I will be on there tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. with my boys, Patrick and 40. KCAL in the morning. All right, speaking of my boys, my boy, Daryl Trujillo, the senior writer for the Inland Sports Show, he will be out at the NCAA Division II Volleyball West Regional at Cal State San Bernardino as the Coyotes are trying to make it back-to-back D2 national titles. They won it in 2019, didn't play last year, but now they're back. They're hosting the West Regional, and the Coyotes look like they've got a real good shot of advancing to the national tournament once again and maybe winning the whole thing again. So Daryl Trujillo will be out there covering the West Regional for the Inland Sports Show. All right, before we go, let's break down the SoCal Regional football games one more time before we leave you tonight. And there's only 2 local teams, at least in our Inland Sports Show coverage area. Again, D3 AA. Newport Harbor at Aquinas. That is Friday night. That is 6 o'clock. Aquinas, again, your Division 7 CIF Southern Section champion. And the Sailors are your D6 champions. Newport Harbor actually with a come-from-behind win on the road at Temecula Valley for the Division 6 title. So this game could be a pretty good one on Friday night out there at Aquinas High School. Should be a lot of fun. And then, of course, in 6A, Arlington against El Camino Real. El Camino Real, they are your LA City section Division 2 champion. So this will be a tough game for the Lions. That game is Saturday, 6 o'clock at Ramona Stadium. And again, we touched on it with some of the guys a little bit earlier, but Arlington was 0-10 in 2018. They were 0-10 in 2019. They were 1-4 this past spring, and now look at this. They're a CIF Southern Section champion. They're 1 win away from reaching a state title game. What a turnaround for the Arlington Lions. So best of luck to the Falcons and the Lions this weekend. And again, we already know for the CIF state tournament, for the finals, that the Northern California champions will be the host schools. So if Aquinas wins, they will go to the winner of Vanden and Windsor, which is way up there, even north of the Bay Area. And the same thing for Arlington. Arlington, on their side of the bracket, there's a couple teams on the East Bay, like the Richmond area, that they could possibly go to. So if Arlington and or Aquinas wins, they will both have pretty long road trips come next week for the state title games. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of the Inland Sports Show. A big shout out to our director, Johnny Nunez, here live and amplified at Teen Vision TV 16. Each and every Wednesday, we break it down. One more week of high school football come next week as we hopefully have at one or hopefully even better, two teams playing for state titles going to the CIF finals next Friday and Saturday. Well, my name is Pep Fernandez. Stay safe out there. God bless you. Happy Hanukkah as well. And we will see you next Wednesday night for your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show.